Welcome to Miami. It's not the game either of these sides wanted to be in, but England and France have one last game in this World Cup to play before setting off on their holidays. Both managers, especially Thomas Tuchel, would have come under a lot of scrutiny after losing the semi-final match, but a chance for a small silver lining for one of these sides, as we are about to get underway here in Miami for this bronze final. Jed Spence on the ball for England on the left-hand side. Onto Mark Gahey. If there's one man that still has something to play for, it's Kylian Mbappe. The chance to get back-to-back World Cup golden boots for the first time ever. A player has never done that before. And it will be interesting to see how both of these sides approach this one. Quite a few changes from their semi-final defeats, as you'd expect. It's a chance to give some players who haven't featured too regularly some minutes, who will no doubt have a point to prove, as Eze has the ball in a bit of space here, now up against Elise. 30 yards out from goal on the left-hand side. Plays it across to Marcus Rashford. He looks to curl it into the box, and it's a dangerous-looking ball, but France deal with it. And Hernandez plays it to Rabiot. Hernandez onto Doué. And that's out for a throw-in on the left-hand side. And Rice picks it up for England in the midfield, intercepting that well. Takes strides forward and picks the bottom corner out quite magnificently. What a start for England. Declan Rice curling it into the bottom right-hand corner. And that'll put a smile on a couple of faces. It's a great finish, a great interception from Rice. And he drove forward and found the bottom corner brilliantly. And it was Doué in the centre whose pass was too short, and it was cut out by Declan Rice, who drove into the space and caressed the ball into the bottom corner. It's a brilliant finish and a brilliant start for England. And now let's see what England actually do when going ahead, because we've seen this before. When they've gone ahead in games, the game has changed completely. They've dropped back So let's see if things have changed, and even if they have, it's too little too late, which would be the frustration for England fans. Here's Mbappe now, looks to shoot inside the box and it's blocked. It's picked back up by France. Here's Lacroix of Crystal Palace. And Zaremi couldn't find the incisive ball through, and it's picked back up by England with Konsa. Declan Rice now. Across to Konsa. Konsa inside to Tony, who's getting his first start of the tournament. Very limited minutes for him, as you'd expect, being the backup to Harry Kane, as Rodgers looks to play a through ball into Rashford, but it's intercepted by Konate, who's come in for Saliba after picking up that back injury that will see him out for the rest of this year, perhaps. Here's Lacroix for France. Mbappe looks to flick it round, but it's picked up, and that's a great touch by Saka after the ball from Konsa. Saka now onto his right foot, crosses it in. Eze just misses it, but Rashford hits it, and it's a good block by France, but that's good play from England again, and they have won the first corner of the game inside 7 minutes. Declan Rice to take this corner for England. Rice with the in-swinger. Too much on that, goes beyond everyone, and Konsa just about keeps it in for England. He looks for Rodgers. Rodgers gets the luck of the bounce. Here's Eze, shoots, blocked. Picked up by Doué now. France look to break forward. Here's Ryan Cherki. Mbappe's played through. He could be in on goal, but his touch just wasn't correct, and he couldn't bring the ball with him. And Jed Spence was able to recover for England. But a high line there from England. And it's been an aggressive start to the game from them. And it's a funny thing, really, because you do think that if England play in a way that is aggressive and it is front-footed, it will almost add to the frustration of that Argentina game. As Eze goes down, fouled by Gusto. Gusto just caught him there on the side of the foot. And it's a free kick on the left-hand side, very close to the corner flag. Practically as a corner from that position. So it's Declan Rice over to take it again. Rice crosses it in, and it's headed away by Konate. Tony tries to take it down, but it's won by France. Cherki looks to play a through ball on the counter for France, but it's picked up and Rice is there, who's made a good start to this one. He's not been right all tournament though, Declan Rice. And perhaps a lot of people were surprised to see Declan Rice in the starting 11. Jed Spence now played back to Dean Henderson in the England goal, making his World Cup debut. Konsa looking for Rashford in behind, but it's intercepted by Gusto. Is Mbappe. Nice feet. Plays it out to Hernandez. He's played it into Doué. It's out to Cherki now, who shoots, and it's saved by Dean Henderson and cleared by Jed Spence. Only as far as Zaire-Emery, though, who hits it, and it's blocked and claimed by Dean Henderson comfortably. And on the ball again. Jarell Quansah. Morgan Rogers looks for the through ball to Saka, and he is found. Saka in the box in a dangerous area, and he shoots and scores, but the flag is up for offside. Saka found the bottom corner well, but the flag came up instantly. We'll have to see this back and see if he was offside. It does look like he was just offside, Saka. But here come France, and Elise coming forward now, but it's picked up well by England, and Jed Spence has it. Out to Quansah, who has finished serving his 2-match suspension. Picking up that red card against Mexico in Mexico City. There's been a good tempo to the start of this game. Both sides not feeling sorry for themselves, which is good to see. Konate. Zaire-Emery. Lacroix. Here's Elise on the right hand side for France. Cuts inside and gets past Rice, but Jed Spence accelerates to get into the position to tackle and does so well. Eze. Rogers. Loses out. Mbappe, sharp turn, plays it inside into the space to Zaire-Emery. Out to Doué on the left. Doué. Crowded out. Plays it to Mbappe on the left-hand side. Up against two players is Mbappe. Gets past them. Plays it into the box, but Gay's there puts it behind for a corner. And that's taken short. Chikuki, the overlap's made by Hernandez. His cross is headed away by Ivan Toney. Konate inside to Zaire-Emery. Gusto. Elise. Elise losing out to Jed Spence, showing real good tenacity, Jed Spence, and he wins that tackle against Konate and wins the ball back for England. Declan Rice. Gay looking for that ball over the top to Rashford, but that one's slightly overhit and claimed by Mike Mignon. Zaire-Emery under pressure by Ivan Toney and Rashford, but keeps the ball for France and plays it out to Rabiot. France with some possession here in these last 5-10 minutes, getting some control into this one. But England aggressive in their challenges. Gahey intercepting that pass, and England can look to break. Eze with the ball through to Saka, looks to be onside this time, into the box, chops inside and shoots, and it's blocked well, and it's out for a corner for England, but they're looking pretty devastating on the counter attack. Brilliantly timed ball from Eze to find Saka, who chopped inside but was followed, and his shot was blocked well by Lacroix. Good play all round there from England though. An aggressive front-footed interception from Mark Gahey to start things off. Here's Rice with the ball in, and it's headed on, it's in! It's 2-0! Ezri Konsa. And England are 2-0 up here. Inside 20 minutes. Against France in this bronze final. And I mean, if you're in the game, if you're in this bronze final, you might as well win it. There's no point moping about. You still want to win. And it's a brilliant header from Konsa. Nestling into the corner. Into the side netting. And England lead France 2-0 here. Harry Kane, Bellingham, looking pleased with their side's 2 goals, applauding the work of their teammates as England are in brilliant mood at the moment. Of course, England have never won their 3rd place playoff games that they've played. They've been in 2 bronze finals before, lost them both. So that will be a record they don't want to keep, really. Eze now on to Spence for England. The tails really are up here. Spence. Gahey. On to Eze. Eze finds a pass to Toney and he's been found brilliantly. Ivan Toney goes down initially, gets back up, looks to cross it in and it's bobbled into Maignan. His grasp. And now he plays it out quickly. It's been a great game so far in Miami. Lacroix onto Gusto. Elise. Cherky. Here's Elise. Over to Mbappe. Mbappe's got a bit of space here. He will shoot and it will just go wide of the post. Dean Henderson not looking too worried. Of course, there is the big one tomorrow, the World Cup final, that both of these sides will have desperately wanted to be in. It's Spain against Argentina, which should be a stellar game. Both sides 1 and 2 in the world, so the FIFA got their rankings right. That's for sure. And we do have our hydration break as we've hit the 23rd minute mark. back underway here after the hydration break. England on the ball as they lead 2-0 against France in Miami in this bronze final of the FIFA World Cup. The big one coming tomorrow, of course, Spain versus Argentina at 8 p.m. But England looking for bronze. Looking for that bronze medal. And Quansah just about managing to keep that ball in that was played through, but so much so he slipped as he was trying to keep the ball in, and it was picked back up by France. And Hernandez at left back. Quansah. Tony had made the run, but Quansah goes back to Pickford. Here's Rice. Picking the ball up, playing it through to Rodgers, who looks to nutmeg Rabiot and does, but Rabiot has it for France. Here's Elise looking to find Mbappe, which he does. Mbappe shoots and it's saved by Henderson. And it's squeezed behind by Marc Guéhi out for a France corner. Now, will the momentum change after this hydration break? And will France be able to get the next goal, which would be so crucial? Doué getting crowded out, but France still managed to keep it. Elise, who Gusto. His pass is short. Jed Spence wins it back and takes a nudge, but no foul. Here's Zaire-Emery for France. On to Doué. Doué with some step-overs on the left-hand side, gets past the ref. And Tony, here's Rabiot. He made the run, but Mbappe keeps it and switches it over to Gusto, just about keeps it in on this right flank. Here's Elise now. And we saw in France's semi-final game against Spain that the French were just struggling for ideas against a resolute and organised Spanish defence. And that is how it's panned out a little bit against England in these opening 30 minutes. I mean, they've had a bit more joy than they did against Spain, which probably is expected. But still not able to find the net at this stage. England doing well with a perfect opening half an hour, really. Here's Elise. Bit of space here as it's picked up by France. He's played it to Mbappe, who takes it down immaculately. Mbappe into the box. Looks to chop in on his left, but Rice is there. Rashford. It's out for a throw-in for England. Here's Rice. On to Kwanzaa. Rice. Plays it round to Gahey. Gahey tried to feed it through to Rogers and it was half intercepted by Rabiot, but ended up with Bukayo Saka, and it's back in the defence for England with the latest goal scorer, Ezri Konsa. Here's Rashford now on the left for England. Eze picks it up onto Gahey. Gahey back to Dean Henderson in goal. Rice. Konsa. Rice. And there is a foul on Jarell Konsa. An advantage couldn't really be played there, so it was brought back. Here's Eze. Nice interchanging between that left-hand side between Rashford and Eze, but it's won back by France. Lacroix now. Here's Elise. Doué. Cherki onto Mbappe. Good foot in there by Gahey. One back by England. Here's Rogers. Rashford's in loads of space on the left and he's just about found, but not into his path. He has to fetch it a little bit, but nutmeg Zaire-Emery brilliantly and shoots and forces a save from Maignan. Brilliant stuff from Marcus Rashford. And England looking pretty dangerous whenever they come forward. It was a lovely bit of skill from Rashford just to nutmeg Zaire-Emery. Set up the shot nicely for him. Maignan, though, was equal to it. Good positioning from him. One back by England again, though. Here's Rogers onto Saka. Rice. Gahey. Spence. And France have a free kick. Nice ball played over the top by France. Here's Mbappe now in the box up against Konsa. Gets a yard and it's a good save from Henderson. Read it well. Mbappe looking for that 9th goal of the tournament that would take him above Messi, perhaps momentarily. Mbappe actually does need 1 goal as well to overtake Messi's all-time World Cup scoring record of 21 goals. But again, that could change tomorrow again. But Rashford finds Saka in space. He's one-on-one with the keeper. It's a loose touch. He goes round him, but he's snookered a little bit and couldn't find Rogers. But another chance for England and a chance that Saka really should have taken. It was a poor touch from him. But France disjointed at the back. Here's Mbappe though. Rice gets a lunging challenge in. It's one back by England. Here's Jed Spence. Cherki. Cherky gets the ball back. Gusto. And it's drilled into the box and it's saved by Henderson well. And England can look to break, and Saka finds Rashford brilliantly. There's no defenders for France. Rashford with a big chance and it's saved. Falls to Saka though. Gets the shot and it's blocked. Rashford still. Rashford to Saka and it's 3-0 England. What a performance this is turning out to be. And England are leaving this World Cup with a statement performance. France look all at sea. England just having fun. But again, people will go back to that Argentina game and think, why was Rashford not on that pitch? Because he ran in behind from his own half and made that opportunity and made that goal, really. I'm not sure this was what people were expecting in this first half. Mbappe trying to do some individual skill, but coming up short, and England have this game completely in their hands. Here's Saka now, up against Hernandez. Looks to get by him and deliver the cross. It's blocked by Lacroix, who will then clear it. And it's now back with England. Here's Rice. Rashford looking to take on a couple, and he does that brilliantly. He then crosses it, but never got the connection and was stumbling as he crossed it. Gusto looking for Mbappe, who is found, but Jed Spence recovers really well and wins it back for England. Although it will be a foul, and France will have a free kick. Which is taken quickly, but isn't executed well enough, and it's out for a goal kick for England. Here at England once more on the counter, with Saka, clips it into the box and it's gone past everyone and it's out for a goal kick. Is Gusto now with a bit of space. But Rice showing the energy that we've not seen from him this tournament, really doing well to break that attack up. And it's a nice switch over to Rashford, who's got acres of space because of Gusto's advanced position. He drills across and it doesn't quite get to Tony. Mbappe now all on his own, really, up against Guéhi. Gets into the box. Doesn't get any change out of Guéhi, but plays it back to Doué. Cherki loses footing. And Rice has it now for England. Guéhi. Tony clips it over to Saka. Up against Hernandez. Saka, he's looked really sharp in this game. Morgan Rogers on to Tony. Tony looks to get a yard. Tried to find Saka, but Saka had already made a run. Not quite on the same wavelength, those two. Elise gets a yard, plays it out to Gusto. Gusto drills it into the box.
What you're looking for.
Rogers now for England. He's been quite quiet in this half, actually. Not really been on the ball too much. Four minutes of added time in this first half, which has been all England in terms of the scoreline. 3-0 to the Three Lions in this bronze final. France have been all at sea defensively. England have capitalised. Eze with a nice turn, plays it through to Saka. Could this be 4 before the half's up? It can! Bukayo Saka gets his second of the game, and England's fourth. This is quite remarkable. It's quite incredible. France getting torn apart. It's France 0, England 4 in this bronze final. I mean, could you imagine if this was the World Cup final? Just for a minute, imagine that. I mean, that would be incredible. It's not, but amazing from England. And that'll do Saka's confidence the world of good ahead of the new season. Two goals for him. And France without an answer. And Rice intercepts the ball again. Here's Toney onto Saka on a hat-trick. Saka looks to clip it in. Goes beyond everyone and it's out for a goal kick to France. Mbappe loses the ball this time. France have really just caved in as Toney looks to shoot from the angle. And it's a corner for England. And France will want this half to end as soon as possible because it only looks like it's going one way, and that's England getting more goals. And can they get another in what will be probably the last action of this first half? Saka to take the corner from the right hand side. It's an in-swinger with his left foot. It's into the box. It's punched by Maignan. Back out to Saka, but that is it for the first half of this bronze final. And what an incredible first half that has been for England. It might not mean much in this World Cup, but it's something. Half time here in this bronze final, it's France 0, England 4. Welcome back to Miami, and there's been a lot of changes at half time, and not surprisingly for France, 4 changes for them. Kanate, Hernandez, Cherki, and Doué all making way, being replaced by Upamecano, Luca Dean, Dembele, and Barcola. England with 1 change themselves. Rashford off and Ollie Watkins making a rare appearance in this World Cup for England. And it was a brilliant performance from Marcus Rashford in that first half. And we'll have to see what Ollie Watkins can do, as it looks like he will be on that left-hand side. And England, incredibly, 4-0 up against France here. And it will be interesting to see what this second half has in store. And France and Deschamps, they won't want an embarrassment to leave this World Cup with. So I'm sure their pride will be kicking in, and they'll want to close the scoreline at least. Eze almost gets caught on it, but it's still with England and with Declan Rice. Gay. Dean Henderson. Going along, can't find a teammate though. Gusto, Dembele, Rice picks it up and plays it through to Ivan Toney. Here's Ollie Watkins now with his first involvement. Back to Toney. And back with Watkins, who loses out. Good tackle from Upamecano. One of the substitutes, and there's a bit of space here. Here's Elise, lovely through ball, Mbappe! And that's a goal back for France. And a record goal for Kylian Mbappe. He is now the record World Cup goal scorer, going above Messi. And he leads the Golden Boot race as well. Elise with another brilliant assist in this World Cup. And that's the start France will have wanted in this second half. Perfect ball to Mbappe from Elise, and a nice side-footed finish from his left foot into the bottom corner. And it's a goal back for France right at the start of this second half. So an entertaining bronze final we are seeing here, which is great for the neutrals, that's for sure. And England do have to be mindful, because France are a team that can get a flurry of goals in a short space of time, and England aren't going to want to lose this lead from being 4-0 up. That's for sure. They want to make sure they win this game. Elise looked to shoot but didn't in the end. Played it to Mbappe, who goes down asking for a foul but nothing given. Here's Rashford. Watkins was making the run in behind, but Rice goes back and then drills it into Morgan Rogers, who turns and plays it out to Jarell Quansah with a bit of space here for England. Quansah, bit of a loose touch, but does get it to Saka. Saka cuts inside, plays it through to Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins with a snapshot, and that goes comfortably wide. Not troubling the goalkeeper. Upamecano finds a nice pass to Michael Elise. Gets into the box with great pace And it takes a deflection into Dean Henderson. And that could have gone anywhere, but thankfully for England it did come to Henderson's grasp. But France definitely almost starting this second half afresh and looking to do to England what England did to them in the first half. Rice onto Gay. Henderson clears it up to Saka. Luca Dean wins the header. Elise clips it over to Mbappe. Konsa wins his header, but Rabiot gets onto it and volleys it wide. But a promising start in this second half for France. Saka with a loose pass. France win it back. Here's Elise. Mbappe looking for Elise again, but Konsa does well to deal with it and play it out to Rodgers, who then plays it inside to Eze. Here's Rice. Really open game this has been, and it's been a great watch, it has to be said. Jed Spence through to Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins asking for a throw in and getting one. Upamecano not happy with that decision. Watkins looked pretty confident when that ball rolled out. Eze onto Rice. 1-2s between Rice and Eze. That's a relaxed pace, should we say. Here's Tony. Look to find Ollie Watkins. Gone central, but it's won back by France. Lacroix. Luca Dean. Mbappe. Dembele. Looking to thread it through to Elise in the box, but it's intercepted, and Eze springs forward brilliantly, gets past a couple and more, looks to chip the goalkeeper, and it goes away, but that would have been an incredible goal from Eze. I mean, it would have been the goal of the tournament and perhaps one of the best goals of the World Cup, period. But his chipped effort in the end, not getting really near the goal. But brilliant skill from Eze. Mbappe, through ball that finds Barcola. A chance, a big one, and it's 4-2. And what a game this is turning out to be. This is incredible. 6 goals. Barcola at it to make it 4-2. France want back in this game. I mean, I don't think we've ever seen a third place playoff like it. Mbappe with the through ball. Barcola with a good finish. And what a crazy game this is. Here's Rogers. Still has it. Goes down and wins a free kick. So Declan Rice, right of centre. Not really a shooting position, it's going to be crossed. And can England stem the flow? Not from that. Rice's free kick comfortably into Maignan hands. And he plays it out quickly. Jed Spence up tight against Mbappe. Mbappe plays a through ball to Dembele. The flag has stayed down for now. Dembele shoots and it's saved by Dean Henderson. Elise nips in and wins it back and shoots and it's blocked. And it just goes over. And it will be a corner for France. Or I think it's been pulled back for offside initially, is it? Although that was close. I'm not sure if Dembele actually was offside or not. France really with momentum here as Rabiot plays it to Barcola. Saka wins it back for England. And you wonder when England are going to make some changes. So you'll have an eager Jude Bellingham and Harry Kane on that bench, who wouldn't be used to being on the bench, that's for sure. And they'll want to get in on the action and get their team over the line. Jed Spence running down the left for England, wins a corner. So Rice to take this corner. And it's taken, headed on and saved by Maignan. And Elise can't quite get it clear and it's won back by Eze. Former Crystal Palace teammates, of course, Eze and Elise. And Elise bites back and wins the challenge and in fact gets the goal kick. Rabiot. Rice wins it back for England. Saka. Here's Rice. On to Tony, who then plays it to Saka. Such an open game, this. Gusto gets back well and wins it for France. Here's Elise. Mbappe on the ball, running at Kwanzaa with pace. It's good defending by Konsa though. Here's Rice. Gets past Zaire Emery. Plays it on to Morgan Rogers. His pass just a little loose. And it's won back by France. Here's Elise. Elise with too much space there for France, and he can't find the net, and it goes wide. Still hasn't scored yet in this World Cup, and that was a big opportunity. The England players just allowed him to maraud forward and get a shot away. And it was a poor finish from Elise, really. Tony on to Jed Spence. Running forward with pace. Onto Rogers. Saka. Eze. So just past the hour mark. France 2, England 4 in this bronze final at the FIFA World Cup. And you feel that the game might not quite be like this tomorrow in the World Cup final. Rice. Watkins. Looks to get a yard. Plays it out to Eze. Eze looks to clip it forward. He does so brilliantly. Tony couldn't just get that shoot in position and get a shot away. It's defended well by France in the end, but lovely creativity there from Eze to clip that ball into the box. And it's been all France in this second half as Mbappe twists and turns, and Jed Spence again winning the ball for England and beating a couple of players as well. That's brilliant from Jed Spence. Plays it out to Watkins on the left. Ollie Watkins up against Gusto. What can he do? Gets past him brilliantly on his left foot. Crosses it in. Comes back to Watkins. Plays it to Eze. Eze gets onto his left. Shoots. It's blocked. Headed away by Lucas Digne. Taken down by Rice. Watkins. Crosses it in. Aiming for Tony, but France deal with it. Zaire Emery. Elise. Barkala. And there's a bit of an exhibition feel to this game now, with so much space. Both teams not really playing at full throttle. Mbappe finds Dembele with space, cuts inside on his left, saved by Dean Henderson. A weak shot in the end by France's number 7. France putting the pressure on, and Dean Henderson has to clear it, and it goes out for a throw-in for France. Here's some space for Upamecano, who goes for goal, and it's saved by Henderson rather comfortably. There's Lucas Digne. Gusto. Dembele. Back with Gusto. Here's Elise. Dembele claims it, plays it, looking for Gusto, but Jed Spence is there. Gusto wins it back though, crosses it in. It's blocked and cleared. Mbappe tried to backheel it, but scuffed it, and it's cleared by England, and they can look to break as Ollie Watkins will look to latch on to that clearance, and he does so with a header, but it didn't have the direction to get to Tony. But it did well to actually win that header and leap. Elise lets it go, gets it back from Mbappe, then it's back to Mbappe, and that is a special goal from France. It's a brilliant goal, created by two very special players in Elise and Mbappe. And France have a third now. And it's very much what England can do, France can also do. And it's a case of, I mean, we've got to look at this goal back. It's brilliant football from France. Brilliant interchange, initially left by Elise. Mbappe played it back to Elise, who then returned the favour. And Mbappe, on his left foot, goes too clear of Messi now for that record World Cup goal scorer. And what a game this is. What an ending we are having on our hands. Mbappe making the run, and he might be found, you know, he's found. It's a great touch from Mbappe, and perhaps should have done better there as it goes out for a goal kick. And what do England have in response, as it's going to be a hydration break here? Incredible bronze final. England won the first half 4-0. France winning the second half 3-0 as it stands. What do we have left in this game? It feels like we've got a lot left to unfold and witness. So we're back underway. 20 minutes left of normal time, and who knows, this could go to extra time and penalties. We just don't know where this game is going to take us next. All we do know is it's very likely that there will be more goals. England, perhaps surprisingly, no substitutions still, since they made that one change at half time, despite conceding those 3 goals to France. Jed Spence onto Watkins. Eze back to Rice. Well, France have woken up, England needing to reawaken almost. And that hydration break may help that. Henderson finds Tony inside. Tony through to Rodgers, but it's a loose pass, but he is fouled, Tony, and it's going to be a free kick for England. Kwanzaa for England, onto Rice. Now Rodgers. Ryan Watkins battling with Gusto, but Gusto just about winning that duel. Elise. Zaire Emery. Dembele gets it off to Gusto on the right. There's space here. Gusto drills it across. Elise puts it wide. Another good chance for France. And another chance for Elise to get that World Cup goal that has eluded him so far this tournament, despite the 7 assists. But it went comfortably wide in the end. Not the easiest chance, but a player of that quality you perhaps would expect more. And England just not really able to hold on to the ball. Dembele out to Elise on the right hand side. And I think the tactical shift with Elise going back into the number 10 position has served France really well, and it's what Deschamps noticed in the first game of their World Cup campaign. The change was made, Dembele went over to the right and Elise went central, and they did improve massively. Mbappe goes down asking for a pen, but nothing given, and England win it back and in fact win a free kick. So there is going to be a change for England. And it is Jude Bellingham who is stripped and ready. But here is Elise for France. Mbappe looks to return it to Elise. Elise looks to hook it past Guéhi, but Guéhi is smart and defends it. Mbappe. Barcola. England standing still a little bit here. Mbappe clips it over to Dembele. Gusto. Dembele. And that's going to be a free kick for France. Dembele plays it into the box and it's cleared by Eze. And you'd be shocked if this stayed 4-3, to be honest. Here's Luca Dean. Mbappe on a hat-trick. Shoots, it's blocked by Konsa. Barcola loses out. Here's Rodgers. Up against Luca Dean. Teammates last season. Won't be the next season with Luca Dean looking like he's going to PSG and Morgan Rodgers making that £117 million move to Chelsea. So a couple of changes now for England. Elliot Anderson and Jude Bellingham, two players who have been regular starters for England. And it's Ivan Toney and Eberechi Eze to make way. So it looks like Morgan Rodgers will go to the left-hand side and Ollie Watkins will go central. With Bellingham in the number 10 position. Just over 10 minutes left of the 90 minutes. France 3, England 4 in this bronze final of the World Cup. Jude Bellingham just come on, looks to play in Watkins, and he finds Watkins up against Lacroix. Still got work to do, Watkins. Still has it though. Finds Bellingham, who gets past the defence. Bellingham with trickery, just can't find the angle, but Rodgers shoots and it's blocked. Bellingham with an instant impact strode past the defence, but here's Barcola at the other end for France. Mbappe gets past Anderson with ease. Elise, Dembele, Elise goes wide. And Elise goes down looking like he may have pulled something or it could be cramp as he looks to stretch it out. But again, it's wasteful from Elise, it has to be said. He's been the king creator in this World Cup. No one's come close in terms of assists, but hasn't found that end product in terms of goals. And it looks like the referee's got some muscle problems and some cramp. He's just getting some cream put on that calf. Don't often see that. And Kwanzaa looks like he's got cramp. So, a bit of stoppage here. The medics had brought a stretcher. I mean, it looked like Kwanzaa had said it was cramp. But he is going to come off anyway. He looks relatively okay though, to be fair. But Reece James is coming on for the remainder of this game. Here's Barcola. Mbappe. Lovely feet. And the shot comfortably saved though by Dean Henderson. Here's Jed Spence. Dean Henderson. Still waiting. And then finds Jude Bellingham, who'd come to collected the ball deep. Bellingham switches it over, aiming for Rodgers, and he is found. Rodgers to Spence. Spence gets a toe in and wins a penalty. And it looked one as well. Gusto, with the lunge, couldn't quite get the ball as Spence nipped in. And looking at the replay again, it's definitely a penalty. And with no Harry Kane on the pitch, it's going to be interesting to see who will take this one and perhaps seal the game for England. As it looked like France were going to get back into this one, but England really could put this game, I was going to say beyond doubt, but after the Argentina game, there will always be that part that means it's not over. But it looks like Jude Bellingham is stepping over this one, at least for now. But it doesn't look like anyone else is going to be getting in his way. Oh, well, it is going to be Bukayo Saka, who is on a hat-trick, of course. So Bukayo Saka Bukayo Saka stepping up to seal the hat-trick and potentially the game for England. Up he steps, and it's a great penalty into the bottom corner. And it's a hat-trick for Bukayo. A nice end to the tournament for him. And that should, and I say should, be the game for England. Bukayo Saka with an accomplished penalty right into the bottom corner. And the smiles are back on Bukayo and England players' faces. So France 3, England 5 going into the last few minutes of this one. And with the game still as open as it is, there could be another one or two either way. Morgan Rogers for England. Bellingham just about keeps it for England. And there's a few forward here. Spence tried to play it through to Watkins, but it's defended well by Lacroix. Rabiot onto Gusto. Dembele. Elise Mbappe nipped in by Konza. Bellingham can't get the pass away. Here's Barcola, shapes up to shoot and does it. It's blocked out for a corner. And the 90 minutes has been hit. And we're just waiting to see how many minutes of added time there will be. And there will be 7 minutes, so still time for things to happen. And there's a change for France. Gusto comes off for Koundé. I think there's an offside there from that corner. It was, played back to Mbappe, and that was a bit sloppy from France, really. So Dean Henderson with the free kick goes long. England win the second ball with Saka. And he goes down, but no foul. Elise with some nice feet, plays it inside to Koundé. Out to Dembele. Dembele to Elise, but it's a good, strong challenge from Declan Rice. Bellingham gets a free kick. Another change for England, and it's Trevor Chalobah, who is going to come on for Mark Gahey. Chalobah, of course, called up late after Tino Livramento got injured early on in the tournament. So this is his first involvement, and he will play out the last 5 minutes of England's World Cup campaign. Dean Henderson clears. Here's Rabiot on to Elise. Elise driving at the England defence, plays it to Dembele. Dembele shoots, it's blocked by Chalobah. Out with Koundé. Dembele tries to feed it inside, but it's intercepted, and England can look to play the ball out here, and Jed Spence clears. And he's going to might find Watkins. No, Meccano just gets there. Mbappe finds Elise in some space on the right, up against Spence, but Spence stands strong and defends well, as he has all tournament really. He's been a revelation at full-back. But there is an England player down, I think it is Jed Spence, and he is staying down. Elise, I think he is going to reluctantly kick the ball out, and Jed Spence has stayed down, and that might be the end of the game for him. And again, he has put in a real shift. And perhaps as he was clearing the ball, he may have pulled something. He's back up on his feet though, Jed Spence, but has to go out of play anyway. And Ryan Cherki has been sat, not even on the bench, but just on the floor by the bench, all of this second half, just looking very downbeat. Perhaps with his performance at this World Cup, as he's not really been able to take his chances when he's got them. Here's Bellingham though, for England, keeps his feet brilliantly, glides past the French players, but just can't quite get the pass away as it was intercepted. But England have the ball once more, and it does look like they're going to get over the line in this bronze final and beat France, which is a no mean feat. Here's Dembele though. Can France get one back? Dembele puts it into the corner, and it's the commentator's curse striking once again. France 4, England 5, with a couple of minutes left to play. What a bronze final this has been. 9 goals. And Dembele's had a decent tournament himself in terms of goals. 6 goals now. And surely England can't lose their lead from here. Here's Saka. Anderson onto Rice. Back with Konsa. Konsa needs to be careful here. Mbappe closing him down and Konsa doing well. England somehow keeping the ball. Here's James. France so close to winning it back. England just dicing with death here. And they do lose the ball. But then win it back and Reece James clears. And then Saka can hook it away. Watkins looks to hold it up. And Bellingham can run free here. Bellingham up against Lacroix. Step overs onto his left. Then onto his right. And that is superb from Jude Bellingham. And it's 6-4. And Jude Bellingham caps off an absolutely incredible World Cup performance with that goal. He can do it all. He really can. Absolutely incredible from Jude Bellingham. And that is definitely the game now. What a game we've seen. 10 goals in this bronze final. And Jude Bellingham with a sumptuous goal. And that's the game. Well, what a way for England to end their World Cup campaign. Heartbreak on Wednesday evening. But a slight, albeit slight, reprieve and silver lining as they officially finished third in this World Cup. A blockbuster game, a crazy game in this bronze final. 10 goals. Mbappe breaks the World Cup goal scoring record, goes 2 clear of Messi, who can respond tomorrow in the World Cup final. But full time here in Miami, in the bronze final of the FIFA World Cup, it's finished France 4, England 6.